cool kids, today's speed paint is brought to you by the letter D because it's D in the alphabet series, originally inspired by drawing with waffles. For this speed paint, I decided to do Detective Gumshoe from the Ace Attorney series. I realized logically he might have made more sense as the character for G because he's called Gumshoe a lot in the games, but I already had a lot of characters in the running for G and not a lot for D, plus like his first name's Dick and he's called Detective Gumshoe a lot, so I figured all in all it would work out. I originally picked up the Ace Attorney games about a year ago, I think, and I've got the first 3 games, but so far I've only had time to play the first game, but I really enjoyed it. And I think Gumshoe as a character, like, he didn't originally really stand out to me as a really interesting character, but he sort of grew on me after a while. Like, he's got this whole bumbling cop act going on, and it's obnoxious at first, but it kind of becomes endearing towards the end of the game. I think the thing that really endeared him to me the most was in the last trial of the game, Rise from the Ashes, where, like, he's talking about the Blue Badger and, you know, how he made the Blue Badger himself and just his general relationship with the Blue Badger. I don't know why, I just kind of found it, like, cute and a very Gumshoe thing to do. And so it's something I wanted to draw fan art of anyways, him and the Blue Badger, but I figured since I was already drawing him for this letter, I might as well just tie the 2 ideas together. I don't draw guys a lot, and it's something I'm trying to do more often. Like, I was gonna say this is the first guy I've drawn on this YouTube channel, but I realized I did Credence a couple weeks back, rather. So I guess I can't say that, but yeah, I am trying to diversify my subject matter a little more, because generally most of my drawings are either like pretty girls or like cool looking monsters, and so I figure, you know, I've got to draw a guy at least once a month, maybe twice. The Blue Badger's character design, I actually found it cute. I know, like, the characters in the game and a lot of people I've met in real life don't really like the Blue Badger. Like, they think it's a little creepy and maybe a little, like, childish, but I don't know. I think it's cute. Maybe because I'm childish, but I just thought it was a cute design and it's fun to draw. And here I am sort of setting up the scene, adding props and all that. My original idea was to have him in the evidence room because I was pretty sure that was where he made the Blue Badger, but I wasn't 100% sure, plus I kind of wanted to keep the background more simple because this is like an alphabet piece, and so the character is the focus of interest in this, so I decided to just put him in a generic room and just throw some props around so you sort of had an idea of what's going on. Here I'm working out the coloring, and Gumshoe has a lot of earthy tones in his character design, and that was a sort of fun thing to work with. I feel like a lot of my drawings are more vibrant, and so it's nice to like work with a more muted palette, and I wanted to keep the coloring, while not necessarily exactly like the game, I wanted to keep it in the same sort of like tone, so a lot of the shading is more muted colors, and there's not a lot of like super flashy colors, at least not in Gumshoe's design. Yeah, the floor as well, I wanted it to be blue because I wanted him to stand out from the background, but I didn't want them to contrast together. So that's kind of why I went with the colors that I did for the background. And yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to draw him like exactly with his character design or not, because I figured if you're going to be doing painting, you probably don't want your big fancy coat on and all that. But he didn't look like Gumshoe without the whole coat and jacket thing. He just looked like some kind of scruffy guy in a suit sitting around painting the Blue Badger. And so I decided to keep the coat, plus it seems like something Gumshoe would do, just sort of leaving his coat on and then getting paint all over it, which is why towards the end, I don't even know if I caught it on camera, but I painted sort of paint everywhere just to sort of, you know, add more action? Is that what I'm trying to say? More action to the scene? And yeah, unlike the last couple of digital speed paints I've done, I actually managed to get most of it on camera this time. Like, nothing glitched out majorly, which was really nice that, you know, all of the clips actually imported for once. It just made me so happy inside. And for the line art, which I'm doing right now, I did something a little different than what I usually do. Normally I do the line art after I do the shading, but I decided to do it before this time. And for the color of it, I sort of chose a color very similar to the base color of the object I was lining, and then I lowered the opacity on the whole line art color layer, so that way it was still dark enough that like the shading wouldn't look bad next to it, but it sort of had more color to it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Also, I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but I've been super sick all week, so it's kind of just a miracle that this piece even happened, because I've spent most of the week trying to get my voice back. Literally, after I finished the sketchbook tour last week, I just completely lost my voice, and I just could not talk for most of the week, and I was so tired, so it took me longer than usual to finish this piece. I think most of it was procrastinating, though. Not that I didn't enjoy working on this piece. I was just so tired that really I just wanted to like lay around and sleep and not work. But I did finally get around to finishing this, and I'm happy with how the results came out. I think there are a couple things I would change. I noticed I never put any highlights in his eye, and I was wondering why he had like such a dead expression, and I think that's part of it. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever go back and fix that. I think I'll just leave the piece as it is because I like it and I'm happy with it. And I think that's all I really have to say for this. So I hope you liked the piece, and thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye!